Well, welcome back, my friends, all to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors, an off-grid tracker XXL, and it is a gorgeous knife. Listen, my man Joe Steele from the Steel Mindset started Off-Grid Thursday a couple months ago. That's where he celebrates all things off-grid knives. I thought it was a great idea. I love it. He sent me this XXL tracker to check out. Let me tell you something. It's straight up badassery. Now we got Cryo D2. We have G10 handle scales. Coyote is the color. Came sharp as shit. And you're going to see that throughout this video. If you are new here, I ramble through the video, right? I'll tell you about the knife, but my thing is this: watch the knife work. You can learn more about watching it than listen to me ramble. Although I do have dashing good looks and melodious tones. I have to throw that disclaimer in case any of the female persuasion are watching. I don't want them to get swooned too early. So we've got a Kydex sheath, same Coyote color, which is a tan looking color. Off-grid logo on it. It has a nylon strap. Fits really, really well on the belt. The knife is a monster. It is a overall camp knife. Now, I think you can do whatever the hell your skill set will allow you. But when I see this knife, to me, this is the perfect camp knife. And I'm talking camping like I camp, where you go out, tent. I'm not talking about hiking, backpacking, etc. For some of you guys, this might be a little large on that kind of camp, but here's the thing. While I do not now, nor will I ever be a one tool option guy when it comes to a knife, you can cover a lot of ground, a lot of stuff with this knife. It's a chopper. It's a slicer. You can do fine work. You can do big stuff. You can skin. You can cape. Now, it's not made for that per se, but if you have the skill set, and many of you do, you can do that. The other thing is this: it just looks like a knife, man. Plain and simple. It fits great in the hand, but aesthetically, it's pleasing to look at because there's no unnecessary stuff. You've got some nice jimping right there where the blade meets the handle. You have a lanyard hole in the bottom. It is full tang. They do have a sharpening choil on it, a very small one. Let's watch this. Let me be quiet as you are marvel. As we go through the sandblast hose. Here's the deal. Did an accordion style cut. So really I cut it a couple times. The Cryo D2 I really like. I really, really do. Now, when I start these demonstrations, reviews, whatever you tend to call it, I do not sharpen the knife during it. I don't hone it. I don't strop it. I don't do anything. And the truth is this: it doesn't do any good to do that. What I am trying to do when I do one of these videos, and if you watch here, that hose will take a toll on the edge. But there is some of that sandblast hose that I have that is much thicker in places than others. So what I did was this, is I just kind of scarifaced the surface all the way around, then went back and went through it. It adds a little wear on the blade, right? Instead of just jumping up and pushing down as hard as I can. But here's the thing. I want you to get as good a look at the knife and the longevity of the edge as you can. Now, I always carry a small field sharpener, but again, that doesn't do any good in these reviews, right? Trying to show you a knife razor sharp all the way through from start to finish, it's not only disingenuous, it's just not reality. The knife held its edge very, very well. As soon as the review was over, I did a quick strop and it came back wicked, wicked sharp. And I was glad to see that. Now, it's not a mirrored edge, it is a toothy edge. And if you followed the channel at all, you know for what I do and what I like that toothy edge. It is a workhorse of a blade. And a toothy edge is kind of a workhorse of an edge, right? It is. I don't know why I always ask you for confirmation. I know what I'm saying. Not always right, but I always act like I am. The overall length on the Tracker XXL is 12.5 inches. That is from the tip to the bottom of the pommel. Here's the thing. I pull my own measurements. I just have a weird thing about it, right? The blade length is 7.5. Now, that is from the tip of the blade down to the top, the very tip-top part of the G10 handle scales. We have a cutting edge of 7.25, so 7.5, 7.25 on the cutting edge. I love the width of this blade, and this come up perfectly. I don't do a lot of food prep. I really don't. Megatron is definitely the cook in the family, but for reviews and things like that, I like slicing lemons, potatoes, etc., just to see if we can get some thin, some thick, and we did. But the blade width here is 1.75 inches. So that makes a nice slicey blade. It is a drop point. The drop point gives it that nice, clean look. We have handle scales. Now, when I do the handle scales, I'm actually doing the handle scales. They're 5.25. The inner grip, which to me is the most important part of the knife, point blank period. But that's just me. The inner grip is 4.25. Now, the pommel is done very, very smartly. It has a little indentation, not an indentation. It has a slight angle where if you need to hang your pinky off, it gives you a good solid, let's see, looks like right at 3/8. So it actually adds to the inner grip. Now those mushrooms that grow on them damn trees are tough as hell, son, especially when you're bent over trying to do it. You know, Old Scab's always looking for new and exciting ways to wow you with my knife skills. I could have probably set up better, but then you would have been disappointed because I did something like I was supposed to. Let me just stop right here. Continue to watch the knife work. Look, Joe Steele, Joe Love, whatever, Joe is one of my best friends on this planet. He's not just a brother in the blade. He's not just partners with me on Blade Talk with Scab and Joe. He is one of my best friends on and off YouTube. And the truth of the matter is this. He is a knowledgeable, well-rounded blade enthusiast. If you want to know the history of off-grid, if you want to know details and specs and that kind, Joe is your guy. Now, I used to say that Joe, Donnie, and myself gave you 3 unique perspectives, and I would always bring up Joe giving you a really good look at the knife cinematographically. I made that up, I think. And then I kind of got to thinking about it. I don't want that to diminish Joe's knowledge or his skill set, because he's one of the most knowledgeable blade guys out there. He knows his stuff. He does his research. He really does. So when you get done with my video, go check out Joe, the Steel Mindset. He has an interesting and a unique take. He is my partner on Blade Talk with Scab and Joe. I felt like he was the perfect fit when we started that out, and we have done everything we can to bring you some of the biggest names in the industry. We brought Off-Grid Knives to you. It was a great interview, and it was enjoyable as hell. Really, really, really learned a lot. And let me just say this to you too. A lot of times as knife reviewers, we take off, man, and we love knives, and we do this and we do that, and we do, but it's in the moment. Joe is truly passionate about off-grid knives. He has been since they crossed his radar. I can personally vouch for that. So I thought it was altogether right and purposeful and true for him to start Off-Grid Thursdays. Now, you see my guy Kirk there. I try to get Kirk in where I can. And what I'm saying by saying that is, if he's in the mood, he'll do it. He's there for technical support. He helps me out a lot. But on stuff like this, I really value his take. You know when Kirk loves a knife because he'll be in the video, right? And it's not to say he doesn't like other knives, but if you see Kirk, he really, really wants to check out the knife. And he has an incredible skill set. Kirk uses a knife every day. And the reason that I'm bringing that up, he introduced me to Off-Grid. Kirk introduced me to a lot of these blades, a lot of different brands, but first Off-Grid I did was Kirk's. So I value his opinion and his take. He actually adores this knife. He kept saying, tell Joe he's not taking it back. I didn't have the heart to tell him it was mine, but and now I did, so he'll probably take it from me. But, you know, he's only 2 blocks over. Here, we're doing the J.C. Owens tip test. Now, instead of driving the knife through a board and wrenching it side to side like we're playing arm wrestler from Sylvester Stallone days, I couldn't think of the movie, which was terrible, where he was an arm wrestler. Instead of doing that, we're doing kind of a bow drill divot hole. It puts pressure on the tip. Is it the best way? I don't know. I do know that it does put a lot of pressure on the tip. I know that the Tracker XXL handled this exceptionally well. The thing about the Tracker is this too. I listed off several things that you could do with the knife. It's also really, really good for starting a fire. Now, as soon as I say that, I try to throw some sparks. It messes up, but it does throw some good sparks. Of course, I would film myself screwing up, but as far as the blade width, it's really, really good for slicing fat wood. Once you get, or fat light, or whatever y'all call it. I call it light or not. But once you get it sliced up, it throws sparks really, really well. And it's another tool in the tool belt. Here, if you'll notice, guys, we start with paper cutting. We end with paper cutting. I do that for a couple of reasons. To show you where the edge starts and show you where it finishes. Oh, look at that knife handle there. Oh, good Lord. Now, Joe was kind enough to send me some B-roll, some footage. I think it adds to it. And I'm appreciative for him doing that, because I wanted to do my causes. Sometimes, man, when I do my causes, they're a little rushed at the end, and I don't want that. And I know that Joe supports these as well. I know at least most of them he does. The first one I know he does for sure. So Joe, thank you for sending the B-roll, man. It helps out immensely. Guys, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, stats are everywhere. They are. They go up, they go down. We're headed into a weekend, so it's going to be higher. That's why here on this channel, we focus on the number 0. Anything over 0 is simply unacceptable. Vets, we love you. Man, you have a place here. Guys, I back the blue. It's not popular, especially in this day and age, and I'm not here to be popular. It is something that I believe in. And in fact, in 2020, when I started my channel, I had a dear, dear friend of mine who was an officer. Said, Scab, anything you could do for support, we would appreciate. And it was at a time they were taking a ton of heat. I said, Trey, man, I love you and we'll do that. So I don't expect you guys to support it. I'm not arguing with you about it. The whole back to blue till it happens to you guys. It's happened to me more than it will happen to most. I have my reasons. Finally, if you are an addict, and I am, never quit quitting. Guys, today, 5 years ago today, I shot a video with my boy E. It was the last time I ever saw Eric. 7 days later, he passed, and his dad gave me that expression, never quit quitting. Say, E, I love you. We miss you. Guys, never quit quitting. If you're struggling, if you're an addict, never quit. The Off-Grid Tracker XXL, man, I love it. Joe, I appreciate you. Off-Grid, thank you for everything y'all have done in support of the channel. I appreciate y'all as well. Listen, guys, thank y'all for hanging out with me. Go check out the Steel Mindset. Go check out Off-Grid Knives. I believe this thing's like 90 bucks, 97 bucks, which is a hell of a deal. Listen, this part's important. I'm Scab. You're not. And we gone, son. Love y'all. I really, really do. I'm not even saying it out of habit. I really like you quite a bit. Some of you more than others. Some of you not at all. Anyway, we out, son. Love y'all.